cost savings will come from bigger trains, carrying bigger payloads, approximately twice what we've been used to over the past few decades. And secondly, from better cycle times, which will come from a coordination function. It came about through a belief that the freight cost for transporting a tonne of grain from Moree to Newcastle was excessively high, using outdated infrastructure and also outdated rolling stock.
It is time to rethink our supply chain costs. Rail costs for grain destined for export in Eastern Australia are much higher than in Western Australia and significantly higher than Canada. This disparity is leading to lower bid prices for export grain as the freight costs are passed directly back to the grower with no incentive to change the model. The Inland Rail project, coupled with historical upgrades to the coal network, will allow much bigger payloads on grain trains in the near future. We believe this could lead to savings of $25 a tonne or more for grain loaded at Moree or Walgett, destined for the Port of Newcastle. We will be pushing for these savings to be passed back to grain growers in the form of higher bid prices for export grain. That will directly translate to higher prices for domestic grain, as export grain essentially sets a floor price for all grain purchased in Eastern Australia.
Traditionally, we would have carted the chickpeas to port via trucks. We are loading today the equivalent of 70 B-doubles, which would have taken us, in reality, about a week, what we're about to do in 6 hours.
What's next for GrowerCo? Better coordination. Better coordination through a centralised supply chain coordinator. Ultimately, this will lead to lower freight costs and better commercial terms.
This is really exciting for ARTC, to see innovation helping lowering costs at the farm gate. We've increased axle loads, we've run mega trains. We really want people to see rail differently. We want to work with our customers to come up with innovative solutions that lower costs in the supply chain.